We all know that art is not truth. Art is the lie that makes us realize the truth, at least the truth that is given to us to understand. Pablo Picasso. Hello, welcome back, my earth signs, my Tauruses, Virgos, and Capricorn. This is Firefly Moon Tarot. If you're just first time joining, then you should know that this is a moon sign tarot channel for all things moon sign and moon cyclical related. So this happens to be the full moon in Libra, which is also known as the artist's moon. So Libra itself rules Venus, which is love, money, socializing, arts, aristocracy. It is the seventh house of partnerships, purpose, and the act of accomplishing. Libra is an air sign, which is very dynamic and intellectual and communications based. The tarot card most closely associated with it is Justice, which is all about balance and justice, obviously, and coming to terms with our lives so that everything comes into balance. So this artist moon, a little bit about this. My earth signs, like first off, channeled messages when I was shuffling your cards. Oh, interesting, the stayed split like this. I said you're teetering on the brink. Okay, you're teetering. Really, there's a situation where you're trying to possibly juggle too much. You're trying to take on too much. Your mental health is out of balance. Your physical health is out of balance. You're on the brink. You're teetering on the brink of something, give impulse. So you need to be more careful during this time about how you focus your energy and what you focus your energy on. So the artist's full moon is the ultimate expression of Venus, filtered through that intellectual air sign that we were talking about. So like I said, Venus is love and money. So this could be about the representation of love in your partnerships, the representation of love in your purpose, and it's also about the arts and, so how you're communicating even with art during this time. It now is definitely a time and an outlet for creativity, and the effects of which, you hope reach an audience. Like you want to be recognized for whatever it is you produce during this time, because in essence, it's not just because you have this abundance of energy that needs to be expunged in a certain direction, is you want people to notice how hard you work or how well this is or how much this means to you. So this in different various fields of whatever social aspect you work on, whether it's computer sciences creativity, whether it's entrepreneurial creativity, whether it is literally the arts, so painting, music, martial, doesn't matter. The other thing about this time is what it's asking, because this is going to be really encompassing and really engaging for a lot of people. They may be really drawn to participate in a certain spark of, illumination or a spark of creativity. And it may come at the cost of certain relationships. Now, if you are seeking out a muse, make sure that this muse has your that it is a consensual type of situation, relationship, as far as muse and artist go. Don't take advantage of anyone, and don't let someone take advantage of you. I just realized I've been saying a lot. I also, when I was doing the cards, there's just a little bit of conflicting, kind of stubborn energy. Things aren't flowing. Like I said, you're teetering. So I think some of that is coming from not feeling in the flow like you naturally do. Okay. Now, engage in any way you can, because sparks are flying as far as creativity during this time. So whatever that is to you and however that manifests itself, make sure to pay attention to that. Now, the card, I mentioned that Justice represents your cards. It's all about balance and duality. Also, I talked about, the fact that it's, coming to terms with the decisions that you've made in life that have led to the situation in which you are, so you have a clear sight about an objective and that you take responsibility. So the other cards that are related to Libra are the Knight of Air, which is clarity of mind, and then the Two of Air, which is all about balance. It's the Moon in Libra. And the Three of Air, which is Saturn in Libra, and that's all about isolation, either self-inflicted or not self-inflicted. And then number 4 is Jupiter in Libra, which talks a little bit about patience, right? Whether you're lacking it, whether you have it, whether it's time to, accept a certain level of patience. We'll see what comes up. But really, that's pretty much the only messages that I really got was the Two of Pentacles, which is all about you're teetering on the balance. You're trying to juggle too many things, like things have been working for you so far. So some of you might actually be cheating on someone. You might be juggling 2 relationships or something like that. Or there might be a situation where you are stuck in the middle between 2 frenemies. And, it's asking you to stop playing both fields in a sense. So I am going to get all the cards before I start talking about the messages. And so I am using the Muse Tarot deck. And I am reading all the cards upright as when I first connected with the cards. Oh, okay. These 3 came out together. I feel like this is somehow... Wow, very interesting. These cards came out together, and they're all major arcanas. Okay, we'll work on that later. We'll figure out what that's all about. Okay. So when I was first connecting with these cards, the booklet that comes with it. So I'm moving on to Taurus now. The booklet comes with it doesn't talk about any reversal meanings. So when I did the 1-by-1 kind of connection to the cards, I focused on see, like stubborn, like things are just coming out together. Ugh. Shoot, I can't go back and get them, sorry. That there was no reversal meaning, so I kind of just stuck with it. Now, if you go to the website, which is a beautiful website, there's poems, there's meditations, there's illustrations for each of the cards. There's also prompts and everything for specific cards if you are drawn towards something. All right, thank you very much, Spirit, Taurus. We need 2 further messages. And so there are reversals there, but since I connected with it in the straight way, that's what I am using. I'm using the uprights for all of them. Thank you, spirits, guide, guardians, angels. What messages does our Taurus need to be? Oh, and when I was meditating, I said, okay, what do we need to talk about today? So that's kind of like what the energy is all about right now. It's what it's giving is what we need to talk about. So what do we need to talk about, Earth signs? Yep. Next up, Virgo. Virgo, what do we need to talk about? Spirit, please let us know what we need to talk about with Virgo during this time. And I think, since the message was that they're teetering, like, you're teetering on the brink, that some of this, what we need to talk about is this situation. Either the situation itself that has led you to this or how to get out of this situation, right? All right, thank you very much, spirits. Last up, Capricorn. What do we need to talk about with Capricorn, right? What does Capricorn need to talk about during this time? Guides, guardians, angels, spirits. What do we need to talk about? Capricorn. Messages for Capricorn. During this Libra full moon, this artist's moon, also known as the pink moon. All right, beautiful, interesting. We have 2 muses. I rarely have those come out, and there's 2 in one deck. Okay, so I am going to adjust everything as quickly as possible so we can get this show on the road. Okay, So we have normally 4 cards. So the main energies for our earth signs: the Hierophant. Something's making me pause and just stare at that. The 4 Voices. Now again, intuition is always a big part of the readings, so there's always messages about connecting to your intuition. This is the 5 of Emotions. Then for these 3 that came out together, we have the Lovers, the Magician, and I believe, what is this, the Hermit? Yes. So Virgo, your card. Nope, this is Virgo, your card. Gemini, the Hierophant. And the Magician. Very interesting. Okay, so we have 4 major arcanas here. 3 of them came out together. Now, in essence, the Hierophant and the Hermit are 2 essences of a silence, a contemplation. Now, one is, a stillness, a collecting yourself, a retreating, and reassessment of situations. The other one is knowing and having knowledge, either not being willing to share that knowledge, not having an outlet to share that knowledge, or someone hasn't asked you the right question, right, to share that knowledge. So these are very 2, and I mean, look at them. They're looking off into the same direction, right? There's a contemplation going on here. Now, the Lovers can, in a classical sense, mean a choice, right? So I was referring to earlier that there's something off kilter, like you're on the edge, So there might be, and it's not a choice between these 2, because honestly, this isn't a part of a choice. This is I just feel like there's not much movement or action being taken at this time, because even the Magician is, just using all your skills that you have acquired. There's not, sorcery or anything involved in this in a sense of, but it's like your elements, like, in this case, the elements here are earth, wind, water, and fire. And these elements are your skills, and you can master them and create magic from it. Not, maybe in a science context. And this is very, very interesting. I'm liking this. Just a second. I'm just gonna. Okay, so Taurus and Virgo, right? Okay. Specific. Okay, so in this sense, our Taurus. So this is kind of like you know something. You feel like you're waiting to help, you're waiting to do something, but somebody's not asking you the questions. You not found the right audience to share your knowledge with. What you've been doing is becoming the master of your elements over a while. Like there's work you've been doing, there's something that you've been working to master, and now you're at a position where you have become a leader in it. Like, I don't want to say spiritual leader came up, but I'm not thinking just spiritual leader. I'm thinking like, like whether it's in academia either, like, a professor of some sort. If it's in a work you could be literally a teacher. You could, at work, you could become the new person, like the system matter expert, or the person of contact, you know, for everything. Like, but for some reason you're really guarded about what you know. Now, some of you might be holding a secret as well regarding a situation, and you're trying not to get involved. And by some of you, I mean, right now, I'm specifically referring to the Tauruses in this Earth sign reading. Now, the Hermit, which is, I'm going to put that aside, because that's specific for Taurus. The Hermit is specific for the Virgos in this reading, right? So, and this came out on its own with the rest of them, so I'll get to that. But the Virgos as well in this reading. So you have been on your own for a while. You've been working on yourself. There's something that led you to disengage from certain circumstances, whether that was from volunteering in social like social atmospheres, whether that's actually being part of these like social activity groups, or whether it is even like you went on a retreat recently to do some meditating. What you found is that in a lot of ways, you worked on your self-love during this time. Absolutely, no doubt about it. And during this time, you were able to identify the problems, the things that were holding you back, the glorious characteristics that will push you forward, like all the beautiful things about you. You kind of took apart piece by piece all these elements that make up who you are, that were kind of like off kilter, right? There was just something off balance, and you realigned them. You put them all in balance. You connected with the elements, and now everything is flowing again. And in this sense, I'm really getting for you a sense of creativity in regards to this. So Virgo, you may really be having some amazing creative moments that are probably coming to you. Like in this sense, obviously, like connected most to this is absolutely the meditation. Like the fact that there's beams coming out like this here and beams coming out like this here. I feel, definitely in meditation, but it could also be dreams. They could be a vivid style dreams, but just the way that, like, this is just shooting right. Let's see if it focuses. It is literally shooting right out of the top of her head, and just it's like a milky stream of just beautiful colors, creativity. Why is it only focuses in my hands there? Why is that? Okay, you can see it, and you'll see all the elements down there just hovering. So something that and worked on, like to hone your craft. Okay, is what I'm getting. Now, like I've said, there was something that led you, like both of you, to kind of like go into this self-retreat kind of situation and not feeling like sharing. And for some of you, I feel like something happened, and you didn't feel like you were being appreciated, and you didn't feel like your words were being appreciated, that your assistance and help were being appreciated, and you felt like it was draining. And like you were helping too many people, and it was draining you, right? So Taurus, like you're just, and it wasn't appreciated. And sometimes you may think that, it needs to be more appreciated, but maybe just, read a room. And then same thing in this case, there was just, a bit of a drain, a bit of an emotional drain, and it was causing the imbalance. Now these lovers, like obviously, like I said, the Hermit, your Virgo, I felt like it was all about a little bit more self-love. And the Hierophant is just, knowing where to disperse your energy and ways that you can help people out. And the Magician is all about you honing the skills and crafts that you have in order to create something wonderful. Now, this Lovers, I'm getting this as the timing card. Now, obviously, for some, like I said, the Hermit, it was, you know, self-love. But this is a Gemini card, which it'll be May and June. So some of you actually won't get out of this situation until May or June. I feel that you're going to stay in the Hermit stage, Virgos and Tauruses. I feel like the timing of this isn't that you're going to stay, for you, it's not that you're going to stay in the Hermit phase. I feel like your situation is going to change come June. I feel like there's going to be, like I said, like in some instance, you're either a teacher or a systematic expert. You're a key, the point of contact, the POC area. You are dealing with customers all the time, and how you want to relay information. I also feel like some of you said, you have a secret that you're holding on to that you won't be able to make public until a certain time, or you don't want to get involved in it. And I feel that time will be around end of May, beginning of June, right? Now, some of you might have Gemini as your sun sign. So if that's so, then this resonates messages also for you. Now, in general, for all of you, just generally speaking, or signs, because I know I haven't talked about Capricorn here. This is, but despite like kind of these energies, so for just general earth signs, I feel like you have been alone for a while, or you haven't found the love that you have desired for a while. Everything has just turned out to be a waste of your time and a waste of your energy. And you have been dreaming about someone, like the perfect person. You've been trying to manifest this person into your life. They're like, not just like, I'm not saying that you've actually met them in your dreams yet. I'm saying more like you have, especially as an earth sign, you have probably spoken to yourself about the qualities that they should possess, or spoken to friends about the qualities they should possess. And you've seen people that you think you might like, oh, I wish, like the girl that I want or the guy that I want has to have that kind of quality you see in a person. So there has been some kind of, structured basis to your desires. And I feel like you're bringing that in. I feel you're definitely calling in some companionship, which wouldn't be surprising because this is the Libra full moon, which is all about love, money, and then the 7th house about partnerships and accomplishment. So this is both a very, like, down here, in the originals, like, it's about accomplishment at your place, where you earn your material wealth, I'm feeling. And then the love and the relationship, I feel like it is kind of just floating in the back around here. So this may not resonate with anyone, but definitely if you have a Gemini in Venus, because Libra is ruled by Venus. If you have Gemini in your sun sign, because that's just, one of the stronger signs, or if Gemini is your rising sign. Or if it's in, actually, if in the 7th house you have Gemini as well, like depending on your chart, right? Things are all over the place. So that is what I'm getting for very interesting kind of, it's so interesting that, I don't want to say boring in essence, but earth signs can be so fundamental. Like the messages are just very, these two just very rooted, grounded, non-moving, almost even non-verbal energy. Like these are very non-verbal messages. They're just an essence of life, participating in life as it is. And so maybe what we, in talking about these things, like both of these are very non-verbal cards. So what we need to talk about right now is also your willingness to open up. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of closed off energy here, a lot of kind of disengaged energy, right? a lot of worried energy. Like you're just like, I don't want to put out this energy, you know, to get involved in something like this, even though you're asking, like this kind of love that some of you are wishing for, you're not going to get it by being silent about it. Okay. You know, you have to engage with that energy. All right. Oh, wait, before we leave, I think it's time to get a card of inspiration. So I've already shuffled and cleansed the space. Now, just pick a card. What is the inspiration for our Earth signs? Oh, very interesting. I haven't, I don't think I've ever pulled this card. Beautiful. Transformation. Very death energy, Scorpio energy. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. That's very, I mean, like I said, some of you might have recently gone on a meditative retreat, that some of the messages that you're getting, some of those downloads, some of those realizations, some of that creativity could be coming to you through dreams and meditation. And like I said, what we need to talk about is changing your energy around this situation. Like, it is very non-communicative. It's very non-active. So, I mean, just right off the bat, the transformation, like I said, what we need to talk about is changing that energy, right? And of course, like DNA, they were talking about, this almost looks like it's a helix. Now, it's not upon looking closer, but it is probably the chakras. Yeah, and then the spirit and the earth are in there too. Now, I'm guessing that this is Thoth, being Egyptian, you know, death and destruction, but also love. I am going to read from the book, so nothing, so I don't say anything incorrect. I don't want to give you false messages, but those are just intuitively what I'm getting from the cards for now. Let's see. Transformation. This is an activation card. So again, there is something active that you need to do here. Enough sitting around, you know. Like I said, you've been manifesting something. You've been honing in. You know what to use and how to use it, and what's, you know, and releasing that is going to just create beauty. All right. I'm going to have to keep my hands here so it stays. How weird. Why isn't it focusing? There we go. As soon as I look away, though. Things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago or who you will soon be. You are in between. Emerging, half risen, half falling. Keep doing the work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within yourselves. It's time to release old ways of being that have kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode. To choose a new way of being where trauma is not the driving force. And that's what I'm kind of getting, you know, it's like I was saying, there's just some kind of like, things were always draining you. You just felt emotionally unstable or insecure around these things. And like I said, that the work that you're doing, self-love is one of them, you know. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed. As you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment, they loosen their grip and fall away. You are being called to find ways to self-soothe. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Oshun, that's who she is, Oshun influence this card. Saturn represents destruction and transformation. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. And Oshun represents the tender love of the original mother. So this is Black Madonna. A rethreading is happening. Healing at the deepest of levels. While you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body. Perhaps even shifting your diet or exercise regime or getting energetic healing support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support, as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. And that's where, you know, I think all this like I said, this lover's card was here to reinforce that self-love, you know. So I'm just going to read real quick the affirmation that it has, or the activation statement that it has for you. It is, I allow myself to receive the deepest healing and transformation to happen at a cellular level. All right. So this is, I think this is definitely a beautiful inspiration card, I feel. And obviously it's an activation card. And it is all about changing, you know, not being stuck in your ways, not being stubborn. So I think that's beautiful. Again, a communication. I'm really getting communication, like an activity, like not activity as something we do, but active movement, like action. Is definitely a message coming through here, because it's something you have the power to produce. Okay? Thank you very much, my earth signs. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short meditation at the end of this video. I'd like to hear any comments, love, and light. All right, thank you very much. This is this is obviously since we had some Taurus energy come out here with the Hierophant. This is going to be a continuing thing. So Justice, which is obviously ruled by Libra, which is the moon that's going on right now. So Justice, the message of justice for you. Ooh, I like this. The Queen of Inspiration. Oh, she's gorgeous. Which I think this is very, to me, screaming, you know, a lot of this inspiration card here. I mean, just transfer, you know, active love and participation. And then we have the Muse of Materials. Very practical, down to earth. The goal seems to be focused on, you know, practical matters. Practical matters. Now, Justice, number 11, connected to the High Priestess. Wow, very interesting. Okay, so it's kind of the first time I've noticed this. So when we had this Lover's card, you know, about the choice. This is about choice too. You know, decision making time. This Justice, if you don't look at my chin, but if you look close here, you see these two portals. Now this person is walking towards one. So they've made a decision. A decision has been made to take a certain path. Now, I like that also the way that this first face looks here. It literally looks like they were just sitting there, you know, thinking and not doing anything. So I feel like this time of the Hierophant and of the Hermit, you know, that is what you're shedding here, right? That is this transformation and this shedding. You are ready to take your steps. So it's telling me right now, Taurus, that you have actually already made your decision. You are aware of the circumstances in which you find yourself. And you want something different on the other side, right? I mean, you want perfection is what I'm getting, like, oddly enough. Now, I'm going to kind of burst a bubble right off the bat. Perfection is an illusion. Just, you know, again, this is what we need to talk about, transformation on a cellular level. Setting your sights on objectives like perfection, that is a conversation you need to have with yourself to shed. That there is no single form of perfection, because one, you yourself are evolving. That's what, you know, even as this entire thing is the evolution, the choices making that you're making, which will lead to different situations. And that idea of perfection could change from day to day. So don't wish for a perfection in the essence, you know, is what I'm saying. It's just, you know, keep wishing for your highest good, right? Saying, I want to live a life full of material happiness. If that's what you want, then say it. Now, this Queen of Inspiration here is here, I feel, specifically because this is the artist's moon, which is all about creativity and inspiration. Now, this Justice card actually represents Libra, and I know, and this Libra moon is supposed to be the epitome of this justice, and this is an absolute fire sign. But I think that this is here to tell you that because the Queen is so passionate, she's inspired by everything. She is an artist of life, of making life what she wants it, you know, taking the lemons and making lemonade, and lemonade ice cubes, and, you know, Etsying them on the internet. And what I get, there's a lot of geometric, cosmic geometry, you know, where was it? Like, you can see it here on this card, right there and right there. And then here, it's kind of really hard to see, but it creates kind of this crown around the cheetah or the leopard. Oh, it's not gonna, it's around the head there. Sorry. And like, I feel like even each one of her fingers can produce, you know, something of like art, you know, music or fashion. Like, I think the part of this shedding and choosing a new path is accepting it might be uncomfortable to some of you, but accepting a kind of certain sexuality about yourself. What you actually like, what your needs are, what you want from a sexual relationship or partnership. Because like I said, this is Venus. This is about love and money, and the 7th house is about partnerships. So you may be taking on a new, like a transformation where you are glowing up, right? Again, male, female, this is not gender specific. Some of you actually might be getting plastic surgery. It seems like you can afford it, especially if you want to live just a nice material life. And of course, this is going to require you to come out of your shell. Like if you were feeling like you should be ashamed for wanting plastic surgery because your friends would look down on you or something like that, you know, I mean, this is just you coming to terms with who you are and what you want and what makes you happy, right? There's no reason to, again, this is about self-love, so self-harm is the opposite. Like, there's no reason for you to feel like other people's bad opinions of you should affect you at this time, or snide comments about what or you should or shouldn't do with your body, right? This is you coming into your own and your beautiful self, right? This is what you want. I mean, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. All right, so I'm going to ask Spirit for some advice for you as this thing. So, and if you need to talk to someone about this transition that you're making, I think they'll be very supportive. You know, you just can't talk to everyone about it, but there will be someone who is very supportive of you, and and they'll see you for who you are, right? All right. So your advice is actually a Leo card. So some of you might have Leo in your chart as well. The Queen of Inspiration. It's Leo to me. It might be Aries to some people, and I get it, but it's Leo to me. First quarter moon in Leo. Be humble. And again, here we are again meditating, you know, these situations. Now, I don't think you're getting this card because you have an inability to be humble. And I think you have been exuding a kind of quiet humbleness to a time, but you might not be practicing it in the right, in the healthy way. Okay, so let's see what this first quarter moon in Leo actually says. And there is a chakra associated with me. It is the sacral chakra. So again, like I said, I think you're coming into connection with what you want out of sexual relationships and partnerships, and how you want to be a sexual being in public or private, however that takes shape, okay? Tension is in the air. You know that you can achieve your goals, which is half the battle. But this card suggests you need to be less show and more substance as you move slowly towards your goals. Don't try to impress anyone with money. Definitely, I think that's, you know, because that it seems to be very important to you. Material wealth. And vanity is a very unbecoming characteristic to a lot of people. Avoid allowing your ego to overwhelm you. Don't opt for something merely because you think it'll impress others. Practice grounding. In a financial situation, slow your spending. In love, if you're being stubborn or possessive, now is the time to stop. And as I was getting before, the Hierophant is the Taurus energy. And this, like I told you, there's this energy where you know things, but you don't want to share it with people. That is that negative manifesting, that negative sense of, you know, being humble. Like being quiet and being humble aren't the same things, you know. You don't have to take a passive-aggressive stance with situations. So also, again, Taurus, just reinforcement that this is definitely for you, is that the first quarter moon in Taurus takes place when the sun is, with the first quarter moon in Leo takes place when this sun is in Taurus. All right? So, I mean, this is just more, you know, just reinforcement, more confirmation from the universe. Is there anything else I need to tell you about this? Again, the sacral chakra is very important. So there's a sexual, I think you've been disconnected from your sexual desires, and it's time to work on that. Because most of your desires have been focused on just material instead of like the emotion, the sexual, basically. You know, and sexual is just as important in partnerships. If that, you know, if that's the kind of like long-term life goal that you have is, you know, partnership based. All right, thank you very much, Taurus. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe, or comment. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check the meditation out at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, hello, my Virgos. What we have here, I believe this is the Four of Pentacles. Oh, Four of Materials, yes, I love it. I think she's a beautiful card. Look at her. Look at her. Oh, she's almost like one of those, the twin sister, right? All of you kind of know who I'm talking about. Oh, the Knight of Voices. So quick, fast-moving energy, communication, and the Ten of Voices. Okay, so we were talking about, obviously, transformation. We were talking about, and Virgo, again, this hermit energy where, you know, you were just contemplating. You were in contemplation. You were in stoic contemplation and stability. Seeking out wisdom. And I think that that energy is all changing. It's time. I feel like these are, okay, this is normally messages, quick moving communication, and fast action. So I don't want to say that it's like a light switch has flipped, even though I am getting that very light imagery happening right now. I love that this camel, always love this camel in the background of this Four of Materials. Oh, and I really like her dress in the Ten of Voices. Very elegant. Very elegant. Okay. So we have thoughts and communication. Thoughts and prayers. No, and again, like this shirt she's wearing is like the cloak from this Four of Voices. Somehow these two are really connected to me. It's almost looking like she's wearing the shirt, like she woke up out of this, like got out of this water bath, and the universe just draped itself like a clothing around her. So she took that dream and she turned it into something material. So there's some kind of like intuitive download that you got while you're meditating or dreaming, and you are turning it into an actual opportunity for financial abundance, or financial stability, or financial gain. Now, this is going to be you're going to get, people are going to be responding to it very quickly and very vociferously. Now, some of it may cause you stress, though, because if this is, some of it, if this is a product that you put online or sell, there's always, Yelp or Google or anything where they all have comments and feedback underneath, or YouTube, like here, comments and feedback. And some of them are not going to be positive. There's going to be a lot of negative comments. And even if there's not a lot of them, I feel like even if there's only a few, you are going to take those and focus on those comments, and they are going to cause you mental stress. And I don't think you're going to know how to handle those particularly well, because you might be taking too much of it personally, some of you. Now, and again, this could be because you tend to ruminate on things a little too much, and find too much meaning in some of the nonsense. And what you need to learn is definitely, I feel, is to slow down. Some of them you don't even need to read the comments in some contexts, I believe. Not every comment is worth reading, and some of them may, and I'm getting this, some of them may be making comments because they're jealous. Because the way I'm looking at this at this point right now is this woman just has this beautiful dress on that everybody wishes that they could have. And if she's walking down the street, people can be like, oh my God, what is she wearing? Where in reality, like, oh my God, I wish I had that dress. Whatever she's wearing, I want to be wearing it. It fits her so well. Her hair is so perfect. Oh my God, these people, how much time do they spend looking, trying to look good? It's like, you could look that good if you wanted to too. There's no reason for you to put them down, but it's usually because they're lacking something in themselves. So I feel like there's definitely, whatever this creative spark is that you have, you are going to turn it into an opportunity to make financial gain. And even some of your friends are going to be like, oh my God, she turned that into a success. I never thought that would happen. I didn't think that she'd be able to, get a side hustle going like that. So really on this advice, Spirit, what I'm asking for advice is how to deal with the 10 of voices. Spirit, can you please offer my Virgos some advice on how to handle that 10 of voices? Okay. Oh, there's a card. I wasn't holding the deck. That is probably the card that you definitely did not need to get. I'm just going to look at it real quick. Yep. Okay. This one, full moon in Aries. Cool your emotions. I think this is perfect. Like I was saying before with the 10 of voices, like in the Knight of voices, is that you don't need to read all of them. And a lot of it, negative comments, comes from other people's own jealousies and insecurities. So just remember that. Like you spend all this time working on things and kind of understanding yourself and healing and working on self-love. Now there's going to be hard days, and there's going to be easier days, but even on those easy days, you need to remember to cool your emotions. And on the hard days, you're allowed to, I would say everybody's allowed to have a breakdown. Just don't let it stop you from, the divine goal of what you're created here with this inspirational moment. This may not be your full-time. I'm getting more like this is a side opportunity for you to make something. Or this is, like you said, transformation. Maybe this is your opportunity to transition from a career you don't really like into something you actually do like, and to build something out of it. Some of you might be getting a role in a movie, and you didn't think that you would ever be an actress. So this is the wrong book. full moon in Aries. Cool your emotions. Are you in the middle of an argument, or perhaps in the mood to pick an argument? Surely not. Or are you being overly forward? Oh yeah, don't engage with the people online. That's what, not just read them. Don't engage with them. This is a time of heated emotions and frayed tempers. Anger is better than despair, as Abraham Hicks taught us. Because anger spurs us on to do something, but you may get better results if you master your emotions. Certainly avoid stirring the pot, or it could boil over. Cooling your emotions and being the peacemaker means you'll attract a more peaceful outcome. Okay, so this is kind of how to deal with this 10 of voices. Like I'm saying, there's a distress happening there. There's despair. I'm sorry. I despair there in some instances. It's the word that was coming out. I tried to find a different way, but that's the word that was coming out. Now, there is an affirmation to this, so I am going to ask you to slow down now, and we are going to take 3 deep breaths. On the last breath, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and on the last exhale, or after the last exhale, you're going to repeat after me, either to yourself or out loud. Okay, so let's start by taking that big, deep breath in. And let it go. Big, deep breath out. Now pure white light in. Set the intention. This is your time, and release. Now close your eyes for that last inhale. That last exhale. Release all the negativity, all the comments and voices. Now repeat after me. Out of this, only good will come. Out of this, only good will come. Out of this, only good will come. Now, if some of you have Aries as your sun sign, rising sign, or it is in Venus, or if it's in the 7th house, this is just confirmation that this message was for you. Remember, these are general messages. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this Virgo, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short breathing exercise at the end of this video. Love and light. All right. Thank you very much for returning to me. This is our Capricorn section of the reading. So we have a 6 of emotions, a Knight of inspiration, and the Muse of this emotion voices. Very interesting. Of course, we've got a material and a voices. So these are very, I think this is really good. I think this is really good because, as we were saying before, what is lacking here is a lot of active movement and a lot of communication. So this artist's, full moon in Libra, I think, is bringing to light your opportunity to speak your mind. Now, I love these 2 dancers. I mean, the fact their feet almost look like it's just crazy. Oh, wait, no, you can see that it's not that bad. They used their hands to, their other leg is right here. Anyways, so I feel like there's just a little bit of a more, as you see, it zoomed and then it didn't. Why is it? There we go. I think there's just a more freedom, more like childlike youth. Like as we read earlier in the inspiration, a childlike enthusiasm. I think there is a childlike enthusiasm around this. Now, that doesn't mean that you're using your words childishly. I just feel like, you're just a lot more comfortable in how you communicate. And maybe that's the work that you had to do. Maybe that's the magician, like all the pieces, something was out of balance, and all the pieces and all your skills you had to bring in, like, you know, because they do represent, you know, the earth, the air, the fire, and the water all represent different aspects of our emotional spectrum. And communication is one of them. So I feel that, you know, that was one of the things you were working on, and you're feeling a lot more comfortable in that. It's very interesting because one of the other ones had the sexual, like connecting to their sexual self and what they wanted sexually was the big, you know, transformation for them. Yours is definitely communication. And I do believe, Capricorn, that some of this is that the reason you were unable to communicate the way that you wanted to do was, I believe, that is something that your parents taught you. Like, it was the way, was it like your P's and your Q's, like what your parents taught you was polite or something like that, prevented you from communicating the way that you wanted to communicate with people. And I think that is what has been holding you back for a lot of this, is because you had a false perception of what your agency was regarding, you know, active communication or even small talk. Like, it's just, you never really knew how to connect with people because you didn't understand the art of communication. So that could definitely absolutely be the kind of, you know, or the art that you explore right now. It is a new way of communicating. And I think that it is going to increase, I have to say, it's going to increase your love life. I think your ability to even go up to somebody and say, I find you attractive, is going to be a great motivator for you, a great self-esteem booster. I think we're leaving this kind of diminishing, the way that your parents taught you to diminish you and diminish your voice and your agency, and, you know, into smallness. And I feel like there's just more freedom and more excitement, kind of, you know. And Earth signs, Capricorns may not be the most loquacious of all of them, and when they do talk, sometimes you're like, what? Why are we talking about money? Nobody cares about that right now. We're watching a baseball game. You know, something random like that. But I think, yeah, your ability to feel more confident in your words actually makes you also more attractive. So I think what's transforming for you is you are becoming a much more sought after individual. Again, male, female, not gender specific. And again, these are general readings. So take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Now, obviously, there was a time, like I said, like with the Hierophant and the Hermit, I mean, there was a lot of like solitude during this time. So I really feel like a not explosion. I mean, that's what's coming out, but exuberance, you know, is coming for you. All right, Spirit, let's see. What kind of advice do we want to focus on? What kind of advice do we want to focus on? Oh, very interesting. Also, I do want to say, because I got this yesterday as well. So this is the pink full moon right here. Speaking of the pink full moon, that's the pink full moon. Gorgeous. So maybe dancing, even going and dancing under the moon tonight. Not that I will get this uploaded by tonight, because it takes like 6 hours to do. Yeah, an hour to edit. It'll take, yeah. Okay. Let's see. What kind of advice? What kind of advice, Spirit, do you want to talk? You know, I think I'm going to leave it open. This doesn't seem to be like, I don't want to ask any kind of hindrance regarding the advice. So these are kites flying. What do we want to know? Relax. I think that's a good advice. It is a new moon in Cancer. Relax. Which I think is great. Because it's getting very much that kind of like, I don't know what kind of advice to ask, you know, Spirit, at this time, because I don't want to influence the situation and your transformation in any way. And I think this is perfect, because the advice doesn't need to be specific to any one of you. Like, things are transforming, accept them as they're coming, right? Don't fight the changes, just embrace them. That's what I'm getting with this. Okay, so let's look up specifically what it means, the new moon in Cancer, which is relax. So, and again, new moons are always new beginnings, new starts. So I think that's a great reinforcement for the transformation card we got for inspiration. All right, this card holds divine feminine energy, and drawing it strongly suggests that goddess energy is on your side. Relax. You and your loved ones are being looked after. Whatever your heart holds dearest is safe and well. This may not be the time to charge at what you want, so think about whether you can approach it from another angle. If someone in your life needs you, nurture them. Nurture and be gentle with yourself too, though. Your diet may need improving for your own well-being. Oh, I think that's also just a good different set of advice. So some of you, that's specific, because most of these things, as far as when I'm specifically asking for advice, don't randomly, as the last sentence, say your diet may need improving for your own well-being. So this is definitely some of you out there, that's reinforcement. If you've spoken to a doctor or somebody has mentioned it, you need to eat healthier, drink more water, eat less sugar. I don't know what it is. Don't take steroids. You know, things like that. Stop drinking so much. Whatever it is. Okay? So, I am going to read the affirmation, but at first I'm going to ask you to participate in taking 3 deep breaths. On the last breath, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and after the last exhale, you're going to repeat after me. So let's start with 1 deep breath in. Set the intention that this time is for you, and release it out. And then deep breath in, pure white cleansing light. And release and exhale it out. Now close your eyes as you take your last deep breath in. And exhale. Repeat after me. When I nurture myself, life nurtures me back. When I nurture myself, life nurtures me back. When I nurture myself, life nurtures me back. I think this is just a beautiful card. All right. And you might definitely, like I said, some of you were looking for love and bringing in love. You might meet someone by Cancer season, which is end of June, beginning of July. Okay. Thank you very much, my Capricorns. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe, or comment in the section below. And don't forget to subscribe. I don't know if I said that. Actually, don't forget to watch the short meditation right after this video. Love and light. Now take a deep breath in, deep, pure, clear, purifying energy. Pure white light. Now just calm yourself and focus in on the sounds.